you kind of accidentally gravitate towards the right approach for you, which is not to feign intimacy with the situation or the people, but to start at arm's length, to start looking from a distance, seeing what you can see. So the use of distant landscape and intertwining that with details of the conflict happening concealed within the pictures when you look closer was something that ended up being the right thing to do as an opening series of work about Northern Ireland. I mean, I took the pictures and I didn't like them. I took some pictures and I realized they were just the same as the stuff I'd seen in the newspapers, and they didn't, other than being in color, they didn't make any difference. And then I got the one picture of this roundabout where a group of a small army squad was moving through the area. They do little patrols, and they saw me with a medium format camera around my neck, checked who I was and why I was there, and that was fine. And as they walked away, as they disappeared off, I took one picture through the camera without looking. And when I got back, I discovered this was what I wanted to do. This was a key, this was my gateway, my doorway into something different. And suddenly I realized, this is interesting, this is provoking. It blends landscape photography and conflict photography in one image in a subtle way. But obviously some of this you simply couldn't do it in black and white. The pictures with the paint splattered down the road, you just couldn't tell what the allegiance is. You need to see that is red, white and blue, the colours of the British flag, or it's green, white and orangey gold is the Irish colours. You need to know that. You know, the beware being in bright orange, the fadedness of the posters, the all that, the green of the Sinn Féin posters. Well, that needs colour. There's no way, you know, there's no way you'd want to take away that level of information. You try and get some kind of balance. You can't, you know, if one side has more proclamations of there's more flags, you need to balance out. You know, it's not one for one, but you have to try and be fairly equitable about the balance of things. You know, I have curbstones that were painted the colours of the British flag in some areas, and I have other pictures with curbstones painted the colours of the Republican flag. It was a learning process for me. You know, I'm not a political critic, you know, I'm not a writer or critic of that thing, and I had to learn a lot doing the work and still have huge amounts of ignorance, still a lot to learn. It's more about how the conflict had got embedded into the tapestry of the landscape. And you know, we traditionally come to landscape for solace, for some sort of peaceful reprieve, you know, traditionally in landscape painting, you know, of Constable and seeing the beauty of it. And you can get some of that. You look at the hedgerow, you look at the lovely green field, you look at the dusk on the corner of the road there, and you think, and then suddenly, oh, there's a tension here. This is not the peaceful, tranquil solace that I'm expecting at first. So there's a tension there between our expectations of landscape and what is going on.